Today we'll be hopping into the Webull Desktop platform to learn the absolute fastest way to get in and out of your options positions. Some of what we cover today will really depend on the types of strategies that you guys are doing, but if you guys are watching this, I'm just going to assume that you guys are mainly trading single leg options. We'll actually be specifically setting up our active trader tool and our pricing ladder to trade those options as fast as possible, but we'll also be covering how to create templates to submit even more advanced trades with just one single click. Now, in order for us to actually do that, we can do it either on the stocks page or through the customize tab. But in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the customize tab since I already have both of the tools right here. So looking right up here at the top, you can see my active trader tab, and then right below that, we can also see my pricing ladder. For those of you guys who might not already have these tools on here, it is actually incredibly easy to add them. We simply need to come up here to the three little lines in the upper right-hand corner of any of the tools. Once we click on that, we'll then see a little menu appear over here on the right-hand side, and we simply need to find and click on the one marked Add a Widget, then come down here and select All Widgets. We'll then see a little pop-up window appear in the upper right-hand corner, and we can actually look up there and specifically in the trade section and find both the active trader tool and the pricing ladder. To add them, we would simply click on both of them, then go ahead and hit the little X button to get rid of the menu, and now we could actually move those little pop-up windows wherever we want them, wherever we want to actually see those tools on our screen. Now in my case, I already have both of them on my customized window, so I just want to get rid of both of them. Let me go ahead and remove both of these guys. And now that we all have the tools themselves within our Webull screen, you guys can actually notice that both of these tabs are specifically set up to trade the stock, not a particular option contract. Now I could actually very easily see that because at the top of each one of these, it says the stock symbol right here. So right here it says SoFi, up here at the top it says SoFi. And if this was an option contract, it would tell us the exact option that we were trading and its expiration date. So in order for us to actually put the particular option that we want to trade in each of these tools, we will need to first begin by making sure each one of them is linked together. So coming over here to the right, we can see that each one is actually linked and they're linked to Blue 2 at the moment. So right here, active trader is linked, we got the pricing ladder linked, and we also have the option chain linked as well. Once those things are all linked together, we'll actually come over here to the option chain, and we do have an option chain pulled up for SoFi. We're going to come down here below and actually select a strike and expiration that we want to trade. So for this one, I'll come down here to 5 August. Go ahead and click on that to open it up. Looking down below, let's actually say I wanted to trade the $7.50 calls for this example. And in order for me to actually put that $7.50 call in each one of these tabs, I simply need to click on any one of these columns right here for that call option. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and click on the percent change number right here. And as soon as I do that, it'll actually change all of my windows to the $7.50 call for the 5th of August. So now looking over here in the pricing ladder, you can see what this will look like. So right here, it says SoFi, $7.50 call for the 5th of August. And what that does is it makes it so now any one of those buttons I click on is now trading the option contract, not the stock. But now that we do have the option contract in both of these windows, let me first begin by going over the pricing ladder and how we'll actually use this thing to place our options trades. Beginning at the top up here, we can actually see there are 3 separate buttons where we can first specify how many contracts we wanted to trade. We can then come over to the right to then specify if we want those orders to default to a stop order or a limit order. And then we also have an order confirmation box, which if I check mark that now means anytime I were to click on a button here, an order confirmation will pop up just to confirm the trade. So in this case, if I were to come over here to the quantity box, I am actually going to leave it as 1. So anytime I click on any of these buttons, I'm only trading 1 contract at a time. I'm also going to leave the type of order set to auto, so it's going to default to either a stop or limit order depending on the price that I select, and I'll explain that more in just a second. Now, besides that, if we were to actually look below those buttons, we can then see the pricing ladder down below with a list of all of the options prices, and then kind of in the center here, highlighted in gray, is the current mid price for this particular option. So in this case, this option is currently trading for 16 cents. Now, in order for us to actually place the trade at a specific price, we would simply move our mouse to the left or the right of the price we wanted to buy or sell at. So for example, if we wanted to buy this particular option, we would simply move our mouse over to the left-hand side or the green column, also known as the bid size column, and actually put our mouse to the left of the price we want to buy at. So in this case, you can see here my mouse is to the left of 12 cents. So if I were to click here, I am saying I want to buy one contract at 12 cents. If I instead wanted to sell this contract, I could move my mouse over to the right-hand side in the red column or the as size column and actually put my mouse where I wanted to sell this contract at. So in this case, my mouse is just to the right of 23 cents. And if I were to click there, it's going to place a limit order to sell one contract at 23 cents. I'm sure you also notice that depending on the price that I select, it'll actually be a limit order or a stop order. So right now on the sell side, when I'm above the current price, it defaults to a limit order. If I were to move my mouse down below the current price, you'll actually see it flips over to a stop order. Moving it over to the buy side, you'll actually see it is the exact opposite. So over here, if we're below the current price, it's a limit. If we put our mouse above the current price, it defaults to a stop. So again, it's basically automatically flipping the order type to the one that makes the most sense. Now going through an actual example for a second, let's actually say I did want to buy this option and I wanted to buy it if it ever dropped down to, let's say 9 cents a contract. So coming down here in the green column, we'll just go ahead and put our mouse just to the left of 9 cents a contract. To place that trade, I'm simply going to click in the little green box. As soon as I do that, you'll actually see an order confirmation box appear over here on the left-hand side, just confirming what it is we're about to do. So in this case, it says we're about to buy one contract at 9 cents. And what I also like about this is it gives us a nice little visual of our max loss, break even, and max profit on this trade. So in this example, you can see my max loss would be $9, which is the total premium that I'm paying for this thing. We can also see over here my break even if I hold this thing all the way till expiration is going to be my strike price plus what I paid for it. So $7.50 plus 9 cents, my break even is $7.59. We can also see over here on the right is my max profit, and technically it is unlimited because I have undefined max profit. I could theoretically make an unlimited amount of money on this trade. Now in this case, everything looks right. I'm happy with the order ticket. So all I'm going to do is come down here and select buy. We can then see that that order does get submitted, and I can see it right here on my active trader window. And if I were to come over here to the charts page, I can also see it right here as a working order to buy one contract at 9 cents. I could also come up here and cancel the order if I wanted to just by hitting the X button, or drag it up or drag it down if I wanted to modify the order. So right here, if I were to let go, you can now see my order has been adjusted up to 11 cents. Now to cancel that out, I'll just come over here and hit the little X button, and now my order has been canceled. We could actually make that even faster by coming over here and disabling the order confirmation button by just going ahead and clicking on it. It'll then just want us to confirm that we are aware of the risks here, that we will be skipping order confirmations going forward, and if that is the case, I'll just come up here and select OK. So now that we've got the order confirmations disabled, if I were to come down here and actually click on that price once again, like in this case, I want to buy one contract at, let's say 10 cents, you'll notice that as soon as I click on that, the order is instantly submitted. No order confirmation popped up. But that's how you guys can place trades with the pricing ladder. It's nothing too crazy, but it is a great way to place your option trades very, very quickly. Now, moving on to the active trade tab next, if we come up here and exit out of this order ticket here, we can actually customize this active trader tab a lot more than we could for the pricing ladder. So here we can either set very simple orders to buy or sell the option, but we could also come here to set more advanced trades like bracketed orders or stop loss orders, that kind of thing. Now looking here at the top of my active trader tab, you can actually see I currently have 2 large market order buttons, which right now are actually specifically for the stock, but we'll be customizing that for options in just a second. Taking a look right below that, we can actually see I've got a quantity box, which is where we can specify how many contracts we want to trade every time we click on one of these buttons. Now at the moment, it is currently set as 1, so we're going to leave it as that for right now. And looking just to the right of that, we also have another order confirmation box. This is going to work exactly the same as the one for the pricing ladder. So if we were to check mark it, we will still get order confirmations. If we leave it unchecked, we disable all order confirmations and orders will be instantly submitted. Now in my case, I'm actually going to leave this order confirmation box disabled, but if we were to look right below that, we can also see a couple other buttons. So right here, this cancel all button will cancel all and any working orders on this particular stock. To the right of that, we'll also see a close button to close us out of this position, to say, hey, we want to get out of this thing, just get me back to 0 shares or 0 contracts. Now, besides that, we also have buttons right below it, which will tell us if we have any open and working orders, or if we already have a position on this particular underlying. So at the moment, these buttons are pretty straightforward, but we do have the option to make some very easy customizations, and we will need to do that if we want to tailor it specifically for options. Now, in order for us to actually do that, we will simply come up here to the three little lines in the upper right-hand corner of the Active Trader tab. We'll then come over here to the right and select the Active Trader settings. That'll then open up a window where we can actually see all of the tools and tabs we currently have open right over here on the left. They're each check marked. So right here we've got the buy market button, sell market button, and scrolling down we've got all of the rest of them. Quantity, order confirmation, cancel all. We can see everything right here. Now, besides the ones we're already using, the ones that are checkmarked, we can actually scroll through here and see there are a lot of other options available to us. And you'll also notice that some of these buttons are specifically for stocks, whereas some are specifically for options. Now, in our case, since we do want to set this up specifically for options, let's go ahead and come up here and deselect both the buy market and sell market button for the stocks, and instead we'll come down here to the option section. Now, the first two buttons that I want to add are actually going to be the buy at the ask button and the sell at the bid button. And these are essentially going to act as market orders for us, but for the options, not for the stock. Now, once we actually select those, and if we came up here to the buy at the ask button, we could then come over here to the right-hand side and actually set the parameters. So this is where we could actually specify what type of order we want to go out there and how many contracts we want to buy whenever we click on this button. So looking here at the top, it's saying whenever we click this button, we want a limit order to go out there. We want to attempt to buy 5 contracts, and we want it to go in at whatever the current asking price is on that option. Now, in my case, I do want to leave the order type set as limit, but in this case, I actually want to bump down those contracts to only one at a time. I'm also going to go ahead and leave it set as the asking price, and for this one, I don't want any limit offset. So that could be used if we didn't actually want the order to go in right at the current ask. We could actually say go in at the ask minus 5 cents, or go in at the ask minus 2 cents. So for example, if the current asking price was 20 cents, the way we have it set up right now is that we would put out a limit order at 20 cents. But if we were instead to put in a limit offset at, let's say, negative 5 cents, our limit order would instead go in there 5 cents below the current asking price. So in this case, 15 cents. Now, like I said, I do want these to essentially act as market orders for the options, so I'm going to leave it set as no offset. I want it to go in at whatever the current asking price is. I'm going to go ahead and come down here to the sell at the bid button next and just make it exactly the same. So here we can see a limit order. We can see it's set to 1 contract. It's going to be based off the bid. And again, there is no limit offset. But other than our very simple buy and sell buttons, let's say I also wanted to create another set of buttons that place much more advanced orders, like bracket orders, for example. So let's say when I'm trading, I actually like to automatically take profit at 25% above my opening price and get stopped out if it drops, let's say 10%, because I don't want to lose too much money. So what I could actually do is create a button that does exactly that, but all with one click. So let's come over here and actually check mark the button marked by customized. Then looking over here on the right-hand side, we can actually put in those parameters. So in this case, we do need to fill out the opening portion of the trade just like before. At the moment, I am going to leave it set as a limit order. I do only want to buy 1 contract. For this one, I am going to base it off of whatever the current mid price is. And I also want to set a limit offset for this one. And for this one, I'm going to set it as, let's say, negative 5 cents. So again, what I'm essentially saying is I want my order to go in 5 cents below whatever the current mid price is. Now, besides that, I could also come down here and change this from a day order to a good until cancel order if I wanted to. And then most importantly, I could then come down here below and actually specify my stop and my take profit. So in our case, we did actually want to use both. So let me go ahead and check mark both of these. I can then come down here below and actually specify both the stop target and profit target. So I think I said I wanted my stop to be at 10% and I wanted my take profit to be at 25%. So again, what I'm essentially saying with this button is whenever I press it, I want to buy 1 contract 5 cents below whatever the current mid price is. Then whenever that order fills, or if it ever fills, I then want to stop to go out automatically 10% below my opening price, and also a limit order to go out there 25% above my opening price. For those of you out there who might be selling option premium as well, you guys could also do the exact same thing by coming over here to the sell customized button. and then setting the parameters for a short option. So in this case, we could come over here and specify we want to use a limit order for one contract. I'm again going to base it off the mid, and for this one, I'm going to put it in at 5 cents above whatever the mid price is. I'm also going to leave this one set as good until canceled down here, and for this one, let's say I don't want a stop loss order, I only want a take profit order. So what I'm going to actually do is leave the stop loss order unchecked, but I will come down here and check mark the take profit order. And let's actually say for this one, I like to take profit at 50%. Type in 50 here, and that's it. Let's actually say I'm happy with all of those changes that we just made. So if I am, we'll just come down here and select done. So now coming back up here to the top and looking at our active trader tab, we can actually see all of those new buttons that we just added. So up here at the top, we've got the buy one at the ask and sell one at the bid buttons, which again are basically going to be acting as our market orders to get us in and out very, very quickly. But then right below that, we also have the buy one at the mid and sell one at the mid, which are actually much more advanced trades. Those are going to include bracket orders to either side. So let's say we did actually want to do that just to see what it'll actually look like in here. And for right now, we actually want to place the opening trade. So I'm going to come down here and select buy one at the mid. Now, as soon as I click on that, you'll actually see the order ticket gets instantly submitted because we did remove the order confirmation box, and we can actually see the opening trade right here on our chart. So again, what this is essentially saying is buy me one contract at 11 cents, and then if that order ever fills, go ahead and try and sell it for 14 cents, or stop me out if it drops down to 10 cents. Now, just like in the previous example, if we were to actually click and hold down on that order ticket, we could actually adjust it if we wanted to, adjust the fill price. So right here, you can actually see I dragged it right up to 12 cents, and if I were to let go, the order will be resubmitted at 12 cents. Now, if I change my mind entirely and I just want to cancel out of this order, we'll simply come over here and hit the X button on the right-hand side. It'll then just confirm that we do in fact want to cancel all of these orders, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK here. And there we go, the order has been submitted. Now, if you're brand new to this and you're just trying to get some experience with it, I would definitely recommend you leave the order confirmations on. So come back up here and check mark that. And now if we were to come up here and select that exact same button, this time we'll actually see an order confirmation pop up, just confirming everything looks right. So in this case, it says we're about to buy one at 11, then put out our stop at 10 and our profit taking order at 14. So again, if you're just doing this for the very first time and you're not super experienced with it, I would just leave on the order confirmations. But those are going to be two of the tools available within Webull to place your options trades as fast as possible. Now, the way that we customize this is we set it up to only trade one option contract at a time. Some of you guys out there might want to be able to trade both sides at the same time. So basically be able to trade the calls and puts simultaneously, or at least very seamlessly flip between them. Now we can actually do that very easy by simply creating a brand new template. So let's come up here to the plus sign in the upper right hand corner. We'll then get a list of all of the layouts available to us, or we could just come over here and select blank layout. It'll then allow us to add all of the widgets that we find useful, and for this one, I'm actually going to set it up pretty straightforward. So let me go ahead and add two charts here. I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I'm just going to do this very quickly, just so you have an idea of what this would look like. I'm also going to come up here and come over here to the trade tab, and we'll add both an active trader to the top, and we'll also come down here and add another one right below that. Now finally, the very last ones that I want to add is going to be the pricing ladder, and we'll have one on the top just like before, and then one on the bottom. Now finally, the very last thing I need to do is actually link all three of these together on the top, and then all three of these together on the bottom. So coming up here, let me link all of these to, we'll just link them all to one. And then the ones on the bottom, we'll link all of them to, let's just say yellow 5. All right, perfect. Now, actually, I did forget to add the actual option chain. So let me come over here to the chart tab, click on the three little lines, add a widget, and we're going to add the options widget. I'm also going to come up here and add the option widget to this one as well. Now, just like in the previous example, if I wanted to trade a particular option contract, and for this top section, let's say I wanted to trade the at the money SPY calls. So I'm going to come down here and click on the, let's say the percent change of the 410 calls. So looking here, you can now see that the active trader and the price ladder is set up to trade those 410 calls. And now if I wanted this bottom section set up to trade the at the money puts, we could actually come down here to the 410 puts and again click on the percent change number. So now looking here, I've got the puts on the bottom, and looking up here, I've got the calls on the top. Now this is just one way to customize the platform. You guys can set it up however you'd like, but hopefully you all feel a lot more comfortable with all of these tools and how they can be used to speed up your options trades. Now, if you guys still did have questions or recommendations for other video topics, please let me know down below. Also, if you guys were looking to learn more, YouTube seems to think that you'll find this next video helpful as well, so go ahead and check that one out next. But that's it for now. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.